Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. And today is Saturday, there are very less number of articles relevant from our UPSC point of view, and let us see those articles. Okay, first of all, let us see the important topics of the day. First topic is US allows India to buy Russian oil for 30 days. And this article is important from your international relations, and you have to know what is happening related to our energy security. For that reason, today I pick up this article, and it is one of the most important update which we got related to maintenance of our energy security from US. And next article is Karnataka AP plans social media ban for children. As you all know that recently in economic survey also they highlighted one point, that is nothing but children are more addicted to these digital gadgets, and because of that their development and cognitive abilities are decreasing day by day. So because of this, two states came up with this control of use of social media by these children, and we have to see this details. And next topic is 204 of 238 Indian cities did not meet air quality standards. And it is said by one organization. So here you have to know about this organization, and you're talking about air quality, right? So we have air quality index and we have air pollutants. In that air pollutants, we have primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. And this is one of the most favorite area of UPSC from environment and ecology. If you see PYQs, most of the questions were asked on this air pollutants, air quality index, and as well as CPCB. Okay, so because of this, it is very important and you have to know all the dimensions. Our next topic is rights, justice, action for India's women farmers. So because of International Women's Day tomorrow, and tomorrow is Sunday, there will be no editorial page. Because of that, yesterday's newspaper covered certain articles related to women empowerment and International Women's Day. And today also in our paper, there are two editorials related to this International Women's Day only. So first it is about women farmers. Second is about women's dignity safety because of increasing of digitalization. So these are the two important articles related to women. Okay, now let us see the first article. Look at the title. US allows India to buy Russian oil for 30 days. What is the keyword here? Keyword. India is going to buy again Russian oil, and US allowed us to buy more and more oil from Russia. Why US is allowing India to buy oil from Russia? What is the background? Strait of Hormuz is one issue, and instability which is going on in West Asia, and even the oil which we will get from this Venezuela and US also got hit because of the Strait of Hormuz. Because of this, especially countries which are dependent on oil from this West Asia, US, Venezuela, which is moving towards the Strait of Hormuz, is getting affected. So because of this, now we have to go for alternate route. If you are not searching for any alternate route, can we ensure energy security in our country? No. For that, US allowed India to purchase Russian oil. Okay, that means whatever the sanctions under this Russian Sanction Act, which is used by US, will be sidelined for 1 month of time period. So this year, on which areas you may expect the question? First one is Strait of Hormuz. That will become extremely important this year. And next one here is, you have to know about nuclear sites in Iran because they are in news. And next you have to see about West Asia map for sure. They may ask about the country sharing boundary with Iran. They may ask about countries sharing boundary with Saudi Arabia or UAE or Qatar or Jordan, whatever it may be. You have to know a clear-cut idea of this West Asian countries' geography. And next is about oil. From which countries India is purchasing oil? They may ask you to arrange increasing order or decreasing order. And next they may ask a question regarding this Russian Sanction Act. It is also a possible question. And next possible question is about Venezuelan oil. What is the problem of this Venezuelan oil? And next, last year already in 2025, they gave question about Venezuela map. And again, this year also again there is a chance of repeating of question on Venezuela map. And next possible question is UPSC can ask about oil reserves in India. Okay, where they are located and arrange them in increase or like decreasing order. So these are 7 to 8 areas that you have to focus. From this, for sure you may get 2 questions, guys. 2 questions for sure from this area itself, because it is highly in news. And especially when you are reading your current affairs, you have to give more focus from this January, February, March, April current affairs. You have to focus more, because while you are setting paper, they will be taking contemporary issues. Contemporary issues are nothing but if they are in news from last 2 years, 3 years also, that is called as a contemporary issue. On that contemporary issues, they will be taking this kind of questions. And if they are focusing on current affairs is nothing but which is a short term, they will be focusing more from this January till April onwards. So you have to focus thoroughly on this January to April current affairs, and contemporary issues you have to see. For example, what is a contemporary issue is this CM of Tamil Nadu and governor issue is there in news from last 3 to 4 years. So that issues will become contemporary issues. On this contemporary issues, you will be getting majorly mains based questions. Okay, so like that, especially focus from this January to April. But don't say that ma'am said only to read this 4 months current affairs. It's not like that. You have to see from last 1 year, but you have to prepare in depth from this January till April, so that you can answer maximum questions in your current affairs. Okay, now let us see this article. And this topic is important from your international relations and even from our energy. That means it is important from your science and technology, and even it is important for our development of the country, right? It is obviously important from our economy from GS paper 3. Now let us see the context. US Treasury Department came up with an issuance that 30 days waiver allowing Indian refiners to purchase Russian oil because of escalating condition in this West Asia, and even that led to disruption of global supply chains. So because of these 2 reasons, first one here is West Asia conflict, next one is disruption of supply chains. Here disruption of supply chains means what? Disruption of supply chain means nothing but, first one is you have to see production. Especially in this West Asian countries, the production of crude oil had been decreased. Yes. And next one here is after production, they will be transported from one area to another area. So in this transportation, Strait of Hormuz issue is in news. Okay. And third one here is US started attacking Iranian ships, right? And not only that, the different oil tankers which are moving in this area are also under attack. So here what is the next important reason? First one is safety of transport is also not there in this area. So because of these 3 reasons, there is no proper supply chains of oil from this Western Asian side. So now because of this, now we got a 30-day waiver from this Russian Sanction Act, and now we can purchase oil from Russia. That is about this context. Is that clear? Okay, now let us see what is this waiver and why this waiver, everything. The first one here is the duration and scope. They gave only temporary waiver, not a permanent waiver, and that too for just 30 days. And it is going to be come into effect from March 6th till April 4th only. And in this waiver, they are going for permitting Indian transactions involving Russian crude oil and as well as petroleum products. Okay, and next one here is what are the eligible activities India can do with Russia is, first one is now we can legally purchase Russian oil and we can sell, we can deliver, or we can offload these stranded cargoes in Indian port, and we can bypass US sanctions on Russian energy imports. That is nothing but we are not going to get sanctions under this Russian Sanction Act for 1 month. So these are the activities that are permitted under this temporary waiver. Clear? And what is the impact, guys? If we are getting this kind of waiver for at least 1 month, even though it is temporary, what kind of impacts we can see on our economy, on our people in different areas? First, if you see about economy, can we ensure energy security? Yes. Next one is we can diversify our supply chains of oil now. Now we are going to get more and more from Russia. Next, Russia will be obviously giving discounted price, so that what happens, we can decrease our import bill at least for this 1 month. Next, our oil refineries also very happy, because already whatever the technology we have, by using that we can easily refine this oil which is coming from Russia, right? So that we can maximize profits of this oil refineries to some extent. Next, inflation, can it happen or not? We can reduce this inflation, we can try to prevent inflation like situation in our country. And next one is, can we maintain proper supply and demand for the goods in the country or not? Oil is everything. If oil price is increasing, transportation price will increase, the production cost will increase. If production cost is increasing, the supply and demand will be obviously reduced. So now, because of this 1 month of waiver, if you are getting oil from Russia legally, we can maintain good supply and demand in our market. So that will lead to overall increased production in our country. That will finally contributes to our development of our country. Everything is interconnected. Are you understanding? Next, come on, think in that way. What about poverty? Is there any link with this waiver and poverty anywhere? Can we link? So if import bill is decreasing, some amount of money we can save. That money can divert it to this social welfare schemes. Yes. So that what happens, we can try to decrease poverty to some extent, not completely, to some extent. Okay, in that way try to interlink one thing with the different dimensions of your syllabus. Okay. Now let us see the impacts. First one is, it will provide immediate relief for stranded Russian oil tankers. So what happened was, whenever this Russian Sanction Act had been came up by this US, so we started decreasing of our oil imports from Russia. So because of this, whatever the oil tanks which are coming from this Russia, we stopped that. That means there is no proper movement of this Russian oil tankers is also happening. So now because of this waiver, yes, we can get more and more Russian oil tankers. And this one is, we can help refiners like Reliance and Nayara, so that we can avoid the losses. So these companies are saying that if you're getting oil from Venezuela, we don't have technology. So if we want to invest in that technology, that will lead to decreasing of our profits. But now these companies are going to get good profits now. And this one here is, we have 3 strategic petroleum reserves in our country. What is the strategic petroleum reserves? In any emergency condition, if you're not getting oil from other countries, we need to maintain certain reserves so that we can remove that oil from that and we can go for supply of oil in the market. That is the reason why we came with strategic petroleum reserves. And in India we have 3 reserves. Where are they? Mangalore, Padur, Vishakhapatnam. So we have 3 strategic petroleum reserves. So here what happened? Now we can expand our strategic petroleum reserves. In these 3 reserves, we are storing around 100 million barrels of crude oil. With this, we can sustain for at least 20 to 25 days. That is the thing that we discussed, I think 3 to 4 days ago. As of now, we have reserves. We can sustain for around 45 to 50 days. So now we can fill that, and we can also expand our strategic petroleum reserves in our country. And next one here is global market stability. So we can maintain proper price in the market so that we can reduce the price spike in the market of this petroleum and as well as diesel. And next one here is, we can also reduce the price rise in the international market also. And next one here is, we can also maintain long-term energy dynamics in our country, because these sanctions will be reduced now, or they will be like waived now. So because of this, we can go and we can directly purchase from this Russia, so that will be helpful for our country. And next one here is, there will be low input cost. We can get this crude oil at a discounted price, so that we can reduce our import bill also. And even we can reduce inflation in our country, and even we can divert the funds towards the social welfare schemes. Okay, so in that way we are having lots of positive impacts because of this 1 month waiver of US. Okay, now let us see the next article. Look at this title, guys. Karnataka AP plan, social media ban for children. Okay, what is the keyword here? Social media ban for whom? Children. So now Karnataka government wants to ban the use of social media by children who are less than 16 years, and AP also wants to come up with the same lines, but it is 13 years. So now you guys tell me, based on your knowledge, is this a good step or a bad step? Good step. Why it is a good step for you? What is the reason? Come on. If you're saying something else, something no, you need to have a reason behind it, right? Tell me, what is the reason why you are saying yes, it's a good step? Children are addicting more to the social media, so yes, it is destroying their creativity. Very good. Innovation. Health issues are increasing. Why these health issues are increasing? Because of lack of sleep, late nights they are in this online platforms only, even 1 2 also. And especially hostlers, you know more like how this is becoming a distraction in your preparation. And even in your hostels, when your roommates are sleeping, it will be normally beyond 1 or 2, right? It is normally. uh, then it will be altering your sleep patterns, insomnia, especially Srimant is laughing because of Nitin only, I know. Next. uh, yes, poor academic performance can also happen. Next. Poor academic performance, no physical work, only phones. Okay, next. I want only one thing that I'm not getting. Okay, children are adapting to this inappropriate content that leads to increasing of crimes in our society. And one more thing, children are mainly falling in the prey of cyber security issues. Yes. So because of this now, AP government and Karnataka government, they are taking a bold step to control or to limit or to ban the social media in the children who are less than 16 years in Karnataka, less than 13 years in AP. Okay, now let us see here in detail. Karnataka and AP mark the first major state level moves in India to restrict children's access to social media platforms, for example, Insta, Facebook, X, and YouTube, etc. And Karnataka government said that they are going to announce a blanket ban under 16 years, and AP government said under 13 years. Why? Because there is a problem of digital addiction, mental health issues, reduced attention spans, and online safety among minors. So these are the reasons they highlighted for which they want to go for ban. Now tell me, guys, yes, you are saying like it is a good, and you gave your own reasons. Now tell me, is that possible? What are the challenges we are going to face? Are you understanding what are the challenges we are going to face? What are the challenges? If government is banning, is that completely implemented? What are the challenges we have? Violation of Article 21. Okay, accepted. Next. Freedom of speech and expression will be getting affected. Very important. Article 19(1)(a). Next. In every family, parents will be having mobile. Will this parents will stop giving the mobiles to the children? What happened recently? 3 girls suicide because of not giving mobile. Yes or no? We discussed that article. No, 3 girls from the same family, they committed suicide. and they jumped from a building from 5th floor or 6th floor, I guess. And we saw that article. If the parents are imposing strict conditions or restrictions for this kind of electronic devices, will children accept it who already been addicted to that so and so things? That is the one case study that we studied, right? And even this kind of platforms like Insta, Facebook, X, YouTube, they are available national wide. It is not only to that state of AP and Karnataka, right? So if they're coming outside, normally children after this 16 years or like before 16 years, they will be studying outside of their state also. In that context, other state rules will be applicable on that so and so person if they are out of that state. So what happened? Can we impose a blanket ban on that person who is a citizen of that state? No. Like that, we have lots of challenges. So you have to remember about positives and you have to see about what challenges we can face. Why you have to focus on these challenges here is, if government is coming up with any directions, you are the people who have to implement, and you have to know better about what challenges you will be facing in future, because you have to come up with the solutions to overcome that challenges. So as a district collector, rather than knowing what is that, you have to know what challenges you will be facing, and you have to think about the alternate solutions to overcome the challenges. That will be the major thing, and based on that only you will be getting more interview questions, like what challenges we have and how we can overcome. So give me some smart solutions for that. Okay, in that way they will try to analyze your problem solving skills in your interview. Okay, because they will be analyzing you whether you are the right person or not. So if you are right person, then only they will be recruiting you, right? If you are not a right person, if you are not innovator, if you are not able to handle the situations, what is the use of taking you into the services? Are you understanding? So from now onwards, focus more on what are the challenges that we will get while implementing anything, and you have to think about what kind of measures you can take to overcome that problem, because in the most of your mains questions also they will be asking you the challenges, and for sure around 90 percentage of questions they will be asking about suggest some measures or way forward. So for that reason you have to think in these dimensions. Okay, now let us see the reasons why Karnataka and AP government came up with this move. First one here is both states are stating some reasons, like there is increased concern over excessive mobile or social media use, and because of this that is leading to anxiety in the children, depression, sleep disturbances, addiction, and decreasing of academic performance, and even exposure to harmful content, and they will fall into a prey of cyberbullying, misinformation, inappropriate material, everything. Because of this they want to control this social media strictly. And next one here is mental health and well-being. Especially there was a case study they gave here. In Australia also similar kind of ban they came up with, and they are trying to decrease this kind of addiction of these children, so that they want to increase innovation and they want to decrease the screen addiction among the youth, because they are going to have lots of adverse impact in the future. And next one here is AP government said that they want to shield young minds from the darker side of digital platforms. So because of this, they want to come up with this kind of regulations now. And what are the challenges? The first one here is enforcement challenges, because these platforms are not operating only in AP or Karnataka. They are operating across this nationwide. So nationally or globally, and even if you're going for the state level bans, they will face certain hurdles like requiring age gating by the companies like Meta or Google in that only state. Is that possible? Actually, we have MNC companies. Their parent companies, they're outside of India. For example, you can take US or Australia or any other country. How can they impose only statewide age limiting services? Is that possible? That is a one important enforcement challenge that we can face. And next one here is internet regulations comes under central government domain. So we have Schedule 7, right, in our polity. If you go to our polity, we have schedule 7. What it says? We have 3 lists: union list, central list, and concurrent list. What is about this union list? Whatever the subjects which are there in this union list, now our central government only can make laws on it. If you take the state list, state governments will make laws on it. In concurrent list, both central and state government have the power to make the laws. But this internet is coming under central list. But how can a state can impose laws and regulations on this central list? That is the second important problem now. Are you understanding? And next one here is, many are saying that better age verification and even parental controls are very important rather than going of this blanket ban. On this issue, lots of debates are going on in news channels now. And next one here is, Karnataka is a technology hub, especially Bangalore. So here, because of that, it could influence industry views on youth engagement. Youth has to engage in this kind of social media platforms so that they can create innovation and they will know like what present reality is about. But if you are restricting the children towards this, means obviously whatever that is required regarding this digital era will not be incorporated in the children. That is the one more side of discussions which are going on. So these are the some important challenges. And here from polity point of view, you can take this article 19(1)(a), which is a fundamental right that is getting violated because of this ban. Okay, but even though these fundamental rights are not absolute, yes or no, fundamental rights are not absolute, government can impose some reasonable restrictions on certain grounds. So you can add that point also. Okay, see this next article, guys. 204 out of 238 Indian cities did not meet air quality standards, CREA. So here you have to know about CREA. Please make it full. Please write this full form. CREA, Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Now this organization did some study and it took the time period from, I'll tell you the time period. Yeah, here from October 1st, 2025 to February 2026, and it gave a report. Normally October to February comes under which season? Is it summer? Is it winter? Yes, normally winter season in India, right? So in this month from October to February 2026, they did some research in India and they released the report and they said 204 out of 238 cities in India, they are not meeting air quality standards. So now you guys, environment is done and you know some basics about what is low pressure, what is high pressure. Even in our earlier class also, I explained what is high pressure, what is low pressure. So now in this period, this is from October to February, we have winter season. So winter season means at ground level which pressure we have? High pressure or low pressure? Winter season, what happens? Temperature will be low or high? In winter season, temperature will be low. Whenever temperature is low, means air is cool or hot? Cool air. Cool air is dense or light. Cool air weight is more. It is dense. And it is having more weight. So because of this more weight, if you take this as Earth's surface, here we have air. Air will be exerting more pressure on this Earth's surface or less pressure? More pressure. More weight, more pressure. So because of this, what happens? We can see high pressure in winter season. Are you understanding? So if you see about summer, what happened? I'll change the color of pen. In summer season, what about temperature? Temperature will be high. So because of this high temperature, what happened? air will become warm. Air will be getting heated. So hot air is having less weight. Okay, because of this, it will try to move up. So whenever air is moving up, we have very less air present at the earth's surface. So because of this less air, they will apply less pressure on earth's surface. That will lead to low pressure. So always you have to remember is, in summer season we have low pressure, in winter season we have high pressure. The reason is, whenever there is increase in temperature, air will become hot and this warm air will become light and it will be moving upwards. So because of this, there is very less air which will be exerting pressure on our earth's surface, that will cause us low pressure. In contrast, in winter season, temperature is low, air is cool, cool air is always dense. So because of this, we can see more and more air particles which is present on the earth's surface and they will exert more pressure on the earth's surface. So we have high pressure. So now tell me guys, so this study is done in this October to February month. We have industries which will be releases pollutants into our atmosphere, and we have vehicles, they will also release what? Smoke into our atmosphere. And normally if you go to some rural areas, they will cook food by using traditional firewood. They will also release enough smoke into atmosphere. So now see, all these pollutants are there in our atmosphere now. And now we are in the month of October to February, and that too in winter season. What about these pollutants? Will these pollutants move upside or will they present at the earth surface? At surface, because of high pressure. Then what about the air quality? Can we maintain the fresh air? No, obviously air quality will be low quality and it is called as bad air quality. So this thing which happened in this study, are you understanding? So because of this, in this study which had been done in the month of October to February, in that 238 Indian cities, 204 are not maintain the good air quality because of this high pressure which is seen in that winter season. So because of that only, every year in month of October to January, especially Delhi will be facing this bad air quality. And we studied lots of articles regarding what Delhi government and central government is doing to control that air pollution Delhi, right? So just let us have a recap. So how Delhi government tried to tackle the situation? First one here is, they came up with ban of stubble burning. Stubble burning is one important reason for increasing of pollution in this Delhi region in Punjab and Haryana. So whenever these farmers are going for burning of crop residue, whatever the smoke, what are the particulate material which is released into atmosphere, that will be carried to this Delhi because of the winds. And next one is, they came up with this odd even scheme. Do you know this odd even scheme? They will try to control the movement of private vehicles, and they came up with metro. Delhi metro is one of the fastest metro in India. Okay, to promote this public transportation, they came up with this metro system in Delhi. And next one is, we discussed about artificial mist generators. Can you recall this? Artificial mist generators. And even they came up with this cloud seeding. Yes or no? Cloud seeding is nothing but artificial rain. On this cloud seeding also UPSC asked question 2025 in 2023 also. And next, what steps they took? Yes, ban on crackers, and they promoted green crackers. And even they came up with the time limits to burst these crackers during this Diwali time. Diwali and Dasra times, and even on this New Year celebrations also, they came up with the time limits. Only morning this time and evening this time. Next. Graded response action plan. We discussed it, no? In this we have different stages. Last stage they came up with shutting down of schools, and even they went for online education for the children. Yes, and they also said that mask is compulsory for the children and the people who are going outside. All these steps. And even they curtailed, they banned these industries, they banned these construction sites. We discussed all those things, no? So again, you have to see that. Okay, now let us see this article. Recent analysis by CREA, that is nothing but Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Please make a note, it is a Finland-based independent research organization. It is a Finland-based research organization. So how can you get a question? Is recently CREA report is in news. Consider the following statements regarding CREA, and they'll say that it is Indian based NGO or it is United Nation based organization. So while you practice environment and related PYQs, you'll come across this UN based organization. So it is a trap of UPSC actually. Okay, here also the CREA is a Finland-based independent research organization, while UPSC, which is framing the statement, while framing the statement, they can give that it is United-based organization which will be going for giving rankings for the countries related to air pollution. The rest of the statement will be right, but it is not a United Nation based, it is a Finland based. So don't fall into the traps. Okay, and next one here is, it did study in India in October to February, and it said out of 238, 204 cities are not having proper air quality. And they said that there is increased PM 2.5 concentration, and this PM 2.5 concentration is more than the limit. What is the limit? Limit is for every 1 meter cube it should be less than 40 micrograms, but this limit had been increased. That is about this report. So what is the next possible question you may get? You may get question related to air pollutants in atmosphere. That is a one possible question. And second possible question is, we have greenhouse gases. Which of the following are greenhouse gases? That is a possible question. It is a repeated theme of UPSC. And next one is to monitor the air quality. We have air quality index. So you have to see which are the pollutants which we are measuring under air quality index. On this air quality index also around 3 to 4 times UPSC asked question. Okay, and next one here is, recently one report is telling that there is increased secondary pollutants in atmosphere. That is the one important reason for increasing of bad air quality in Delhi. So this time they may ask about secondary pollutants also. What are the secondary pollutants? Normally, what are the primary pollutants? From a source, if that pollutants are released, and after released into atmosphere, they will react in atmosphere and they will form another form, that is called as secondary pollutants. So you may get question regarding the secondary pollutants, and this time I am expecting the question will be in this way. Consider the following, which of the above are secondary pollutants, and they'll give you options. So please make a list of secondary pollutants, at least that will be helpful you to eliminate certain options. Okay, now let us see the facts which are given in this report. 204 out of 238, they are not maintaining proper PM 2.5 concentration. It is more than 40 micrograms per meter cube. And you know about this timeline. And next one is pollutants. They identified that PM 2.5 is very high and it is a major health damaging pollutants. And this PM 2.5 is released from vehicular emissions, industries, construction sites, biomass burning and stubble burning. These are the major source of releasing of PM 2.5. And next one here is Ghaziabad topped the list with very high PM 2.5 concentration. It is about 172 micrograms per meter cube. And next one is, second one is Noida, third one is Delhi, and next other areas. So what are the reasons? The first one here is because of winter inversion trap, because of high pressure. And next one here is, there are certain regional hotspots where we have stubble burning, where we have industrial clusters, more traffic, construction. These areas, this 2.5, PM 2.5 is released more. And here you have to say about what is the impact of PM 2.5. PM 2.5 is linked to respiratory cardiovascular diseases, and even we discussed about premature deaths. There is one report in winter season which said that children are born with very low weight because of pollution, and that is causing premature deaths. And next one here is it also highlighting about what are the gaps we have in implementation of National Clean Air Program. And this report is saying that we need to take more stricter enforcement of laws to control this air pollution. Again, you have to see about different acts which are present in our country related to air pollution. What are the acts? Pollution related acts in India. Yesterday or day before yesterday class had been done. I know it is entirely facts based, but you have to let me know. Environment Pollution Act, very good. Next year, any idea? 1986, very good. Next, we have Air Pollution Act, we have Water Pollution Act, we have Noise Pollution Act. So see all those acts. In our material, it is clearly given each and every act with timeline, what is it. So just go through our material for this topic. Okay, what is the impact of this bad air quality? Health impacts. Next, only health impacts. What about our tourism? It will be getting affected or not? We should not go to that place. We will get diseases, so that we will not attract more tourists. Next, even migratory birds will be getting affected because of this pollution. Next, global warming can happen. Next, transportation, how? Accidents, yes, very good. Accidents can increase, especially that is a case that we can see in this Delhi region every year in winter because of formation of thick haze and fog. Next, ozone depletion if there is increased CFC concentration. Next, CFC, it is not directly related here, but other things. Next, okay, let us see here the first one. Increased health risk, especially asthma and lung disorders, and that will lead to reduced life expectancy. And we discussed there are certain reports which says that if you are staying in a very high polluted area, your life had been decreased by 5 years, and in other areas which are less polluted, 3 years of life expectancy we are decreasing. I don't know whether you can recall that or not. And next one is economic cost. Pollution related healthcare burdens are increasing. Obviously, what happens? Agricultural productivity will be getting affected, and it will affect the livability, and investment in this pollution will be increased day by day, so that other areas should be compromised. And next one here is this pollution will leads to formation of smog, haze, etc. That will reduce visibility, and even climate change can happen. Obviously, it will be having impact on our ecosystem biodiversity. Okay, and say this article, guys, rights, justice, action for Indians woman farmer. Okay, tell me, mostly now we are talking about feminization of agriculture. What is this concept of feminization of agriculture? Men are migrating to other areas in search of work, and in villages who are continuing this tradition of doing agriculture? Women started continuing this work. Whenever women started continuing this work of agriculture, they are having certain problems. Their rights, their justice, they are like mostly compromised. So now you guys tell me, will you accept the statement or not? Yes? Okay, yes or no? One second question. In this feminization of agriculture, rights of women, and there is no proper access to justice for women. Will you accept this statement? What is your opinion on it? To some extent, or completely, or no? Some extent decreasing. Okay, how? Give me examples. Yes, give me examples. Yeah, wages. Okay, wages are very low for women. Next. What about land rights? Normally, land will be under the name of male only, no? If male, on this male, if the land is on his name, If he's going outside to other countries, migration, everything, how can she get the loan? Yes or no? Banks will give loan based on the collateral only, right? They have to keep certain documents, then only they'll give the land. So if that person is outside India, if he migrated but the land is on his name, Papam, this female is doing agriculture here, how can she get the loan? Next. I'm talking about throughout India, not only in the context of AP, in general context. Next. Other problems faced by women. Nowadays, we are going for mechanization of agriculture, and it is making this agriculture easy to some extent. But who will operate these machines? Women? Women or men? Okay, again, because of this, the rights of women are getting affected. So let us say this article. Rights, Justice, Action for Indian Women's calls for urgent recognition of women as farmers ahead of International Women's Day. And this article is saying that women is performing majority of activities in this agriculture. But even though women are excluded from land rights, women are excluded from resources, women are not getting proper credit opportunities, entire work will be done by women, but decision making is not there in the hands of women. And next one is framing this as a call beyond the symbolism to enforceable reforms for a food security, gender equality, and sustainable agriculture. So I want to give one example from my family itself. In my family, women, they are doing each and every activity in agriculture. Every work will be done by them, but they will be not part of decision making. They will not participate in like which kind of crop we have to do. The males in the family will be taking decision like we have to go for this crop, that crop, this crop, like that. But work will be entirely done by women. Women has to do everything, but their decision will be not at all taken as a final, like which crop they have to grow, whether they are having that stamina to do that, because certain crops need more extensive labor. Like groundnut, they have to go for sprinkler irrigation, and they have to go for spraying of everything, right? So here, whether they are having that stamina or not, they will not take into that account. But entirely the decision will be taken by the males who will be not part of this doing of agriculture. So that is happening in my family. In the same way, in every area that may happen, because we are in patriarchal society, that is male dominant society. I am giving my own family as example. I don't know whether it is applicable to you or not. Think from your village, think from your family's point of view. Okay, so here this article is saying that women are doing all those things, but they are having the compromising on their rights, everything. So here we have to focus on certain reforms. So if you are getting the reforms in this women who are involving in this agriculture, then only we can ensure food security, gender equality, and sustainable agriculture. Okay, what are the reasons which are given in this article here is, yes, why we are talking about this thing now is International Women's Day is one important reason. And here this International Year for Women Farmers is declared in 2026. 2026 year is declared as International Year for Women Farmers. And here this International Women's Day we are celebrating every year on this May 8th. So because of this now there is a need of how to talk about women farmers empowerment. And even this is raised by different organizations like FAO, WFP, like that. And these organizations are saying that women do not have proper access to this land, justice, and resources. And this one is there are persistent inequalities like contributions to food production. Women farmers face discrimination because they don't have proper land ownership, and even there is a gap in productivity, and even because of climate change also these women farmers will be getting more affected. And this article is saying that we need to come up with some changes in the policies. For example, we have Hindu Succession Act. So what is Hindu Succession Act, which says about inheritance? So if parents are having property, son and the daughter, they are having equal rights to get this property. That is there only on paper. Do this is happening practically? So if the Property is there for the parents. The daughter is getting the same share as the son. Yes? Where? Uh, in every registration, daughter is needed. But the transfer of property is happening or not to the daughter? 50%. If father is having 4 acres of land, son has to get 2 acres and daughter has to get 2 acres. Is it happening? Is this boys are allowing to give the property to the daughter? Tell me, Govind, you will tell right. Govind is very sincere and he will tell right. Tell me, Govind. Huh? Happening or not, Govind? No, right? That is a problem here. So we have to come up with some implementation regarding this. In your state, it is happening. Karnataka, for sure. I don't know about that Karnataka. 100%. 80%. 80. Huh? 65%. See? You only don't have unity. 100%, 85%, 65%. Huh? Oh, you are confident about your state. Okay. What about AP, guys? 4 acres? Daughters is Kudara. You are lying, Akash. Everything you lie only. Everyone knows about Akash, even in the online also. Others, tell me, is it happening on this lines? Harsha and Kiran. Kranti. Huh? Sister production kosa? Okay, let me see. How many sisters do you have, Akash? No one, no? Only one? Okay, I'll talk to your sister later on. Is she married? No. I will come to her marriage and I will tell. And guys, you are like the persons who are the witness there, okay? So I'll take you also on that day of sister's marriage of Akash and let us see. 45 ainda? Okay. So let us see the next article, guys. Balancing innovation with women dignity, safety, digital safety. So here this article is saying that AI is increasing every day and increasing of advancements, coming up of new social media apps every day. And because of that, what is happening here? Women are more vulnerable to this cyber security issues. That is the thing which mainly said here. So here the core argument of this article is because of innovation in AI and digital technology. Now what is happening here is women dignity, safety are like transforming every day. So because of this, gender-based harms are happening, and in this gender-based harms, women and as well as children, they are more vulnerable. Okay, so here women are facing certain risk with this AI tools like deepfakes. Deepfake is nothing but morphed videos, morphed images. And next one is there is steady rise in accessible internet has made women primarily targets for this digital threats. So women are the targets for this digital threats, and even cyberbullying is happening. And even lots of time here, money transfer, illegal money transfer will happen from the accounts, and even fake business can also happen in this Instagram like that. So here the primary targets for this kind of cyber frauds is women. So because of this, now we have to focus on ethical AI principles. How can we use this AI in a normal manner? And next one is we have to go for platform accountability and gender sensitive design. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said here. So that we have to go for changing of our laws which is related to AI. And even recently we had this AI Impact India Summit 2026 in India, right? So in that also we are focusing on discussions regarding how we can make AI inclusive. In that we came up with a strategy for using of this AI ethically. That is the thing which mainly said here. And you have to come up with your own ideas related to how we can make this AI more inclusive and how we can use this in ethical manner, and how and which kind of measures we can take to protect this women who are more vulnerable to this AI. See these questions, guys. First one is, which of the following statements is correct regarding Venezuela's oil reserves and production of early 2026? Option A, Venezuela has the second largest proven oil reserves after Saudi Arabia with production exceeding 3 million barrels per day. Second statement, second option, Venezuela holds the world's largest proven oil reserves, approximately 300 billion barrels, but its production remains below 1.5 million barrels per day due to mismanagement and past sanctions. And C is Saudi Arabia has overtaken Venezuela as the top reserve holder with Venezuela's production at over 2 million barrels per day in 2025. And third one is Venezuela's oil is primarily light and sweet crude oil, making it easy to refine and export globally. After reading the statements, what you understood, you have to know countries across the world which are having oil reserves and which is the first, second, third and recent trends. And next you have to see even how much they are producing per day. So correct option is, it holds the world's largest proven reserves, but the production is very less because of mismanagement. Because of that only that president had been taken away by the US, right? So that thing that we had studied. So answer is mismanagement and past sanctions. And say this next question, consider the following statements about health effects of key air pollutants. First statement, PM 2.5 particles can penetrate deep into the lungs and bloodstream, increasing the risk of cardiovascular and respiratory disorders. Second one is carbon monoxide binds with hemoglobin more strongly than oxygen, and that leads to reduced oxygen supply to tissues. Third one, nitrogen dioxide primarily causes eye and throat irritation but has no role in forming secondary pollutant. Which of the above statements are right? 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. 1 is for sure right. Second, carbon monoxide, that is the problem with this carbon monoxide. No, that will be binding very strong with hemoglobin. So that what happened? Oxygen cannot bind. So that there is decreased oxygen supply. Second is also right. Then what is about 3? 3 is right till here. Nitrogen dioxide causes eye and throat infections, irritation, but it can also form secondary pollutants. If you see nitrogen NOx, we'll write always NOx. It may be NO or it may be NO2 or it may be NO3 like that. So here it can form the secondary pollutants. Okay, so there is no role is a wrong thing here. Okay, option B is the right answer. 1, 2 only. So these are the important articles that happened in our today's Hindi newspaper. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching. And if you really like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you have not yet subscribed to Rathod's IAS Academy, please do subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy YouTube channel. And through this channel, we are going to provide lots of insights regarding the current affairs, regarding UPSC preparation, and we'll also try to post very important content for your UPSC preparation. And if you want to start your preparation for UPSC, we are going to launch a new batch for GS Prelims Cum Mains Foundation in our academy. And if you want to get the details of that course, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. Thank you so much guys for watching.